Okay, here we go with chapter 22 and 23 of Allan Stratton's The Dogs. Before I take off, CB wheels up in his car and leaps out like the buddy sidekick on some cop show. Cameron, my man, what's up? He raises his hand like he actually expects me to high-five him. I give him a half-assed wave and put my hands in my pockets. It's about the package you sent me, the stuff at the farm. There's something weird. Mom said you might be able to explain it. Sure thing, he waves me into the agency. Mom's on the phone. She gives me a be good look and mouths, "Coffee, please," to CB. He winks a "you betcha" and pushes a button on the coffee machine. "You want a cappuccino?" he asks me. Sure. Mom raises an eyebrow. She knows I hate coffee. I shoot her a "don't embarrass me" look. CB hands Mom the first one. When she's off the phone, they banter till ours are ready. I put 4 packs of sugar in mine, retrieve the package from Mom's desk, and follow CB to his private office. It's a beige room with shears that cover a barred window facing the rear laneway. The walls are covered in frames, his college degree, his real estate license, cheesy slogans like "if not now, when," and a picture of a girl and boy around 4 or 5. I stop at the one where the kids are squeezed together into the top step of a porch eating ice cream cones. CB comes over. "Patrick and Kimberly." "Your kids?" "They're 7 and 8 now," he says, nodding. "Live with their mother a few hundred kilometers away. I don't get to see them so much." "You're divorced?" "Pretty much. There's still some paperwork, but yeah." For a second, he doesn't sound like a TV ad. He's like a guy who just misses his kids. CB sits in the leather chair behind his desk and motions me to the one opposite. He breathes in his cappuccino. I take a sip and try not to make a face. "I can't wait to hear your questions. Your mom says you're always thinking. My real brain. I gotta tell you, I'm not. But you're smart enough already to know that. Is he trying to get me to like him? If he's saying he knows I don't, I'm not so bright." "Don't kid a kidder," he laughs. "Luckily, I'm good at real estate. Luckier still, I like it. Anyway, something I sent you needs explaining?" "Yeah," I handed him the package. "According to the sales page, the Sinclairs never bought the farm, and taxes are still made out to Frank McTavish, the guy who was killed by the dogs." "What? You didn't know?" "No," CB frowns, pulls out his material and scans it. "I told Arlene what I wanted. She did the printouts, and I passed them straight on." He checks back and forth between the pages. "Wow. Wow is right. I mean, is this even possible?" "Good question." CB leans back in his chair. He told me to ask him anything, but he's stumped by my first question. I watch the pressure build on his forehead. It's almost enough to make me feel sorry for him. "Okay," he says at last, "but this is only a guess. If I can recall the story, McTavish's wife left with their son a short time before he died. Back then, his will would likely have named his son to inherit the farm. But if the son was missing, and McTavish had no other family to claim it, the farm would have sat there, unpaid taxes would have piled up, and the county would have taken it to settle the debts. Unless somebody paid the taxes, I say, in which case the county would be happy. Sure, nobody would want to step in and if there was a son who might come back someday. So if Mr. Sinclair's family paid the taxes, they'd be able to use the land for free until the son returned." "Your mom's right. You're smart." "But the son, Jackie, never came back," I exclaimed, the thoughts coming as fast as I can say them. "Nobody cared, though, because the taxes were being paid, and eventually so much time passed that nobody thought about it anymore. It's just the way things were." "Sure is a possibility. Is that legal?" "Well, it's not illegal, especially if McTavish had named Art Sinclair's father as his executor, the guy taking care of his will. Mr. Sinclair said that his dad and McTavish were best friends." "There you are, then." CB drums his fingers on his desk. "Art's father could easily have said he was looking after the farm till McTavish's son was around, and there'd be nothing and no one to make him sell it. And then Mr. Sinclair's father dies, and Mr. Sinclair just keeps paying the taxes like his family's done since forever, and he gets to make money off a farm he never paid for." CB's eyes flicker. He knows where I'm headed. Where I'm headed is trouble. "Remember, that's just a guess, Cameron. Even if it were right, at this point Mr. Sinclair could likely claim squatters' rights. If I were him, I'd go to court and make it official. But there's a chance he could lose, so maybe he thinks, why risk it?" CB laughs. "More likely, knowing Art, he's just never gotten around to it. Personally, I'd have it at the top of my to-do list. I hate uncertainty." "Me too." We share a look. "What?" he asks with a smile. "What do you mean, what?" "You want to ask me something." "How do you know?" "The way you're sitting." "You're a pretty good guesser." "Sales." CB taps his temple. "Okay," I hesitate. "If this is too personal, just say so. But what's it like not seeing your kids so much?" He looks me straight in the eye. "It's a bit like dying. They're my kids, but they'll never live with me again, and they're doing things I'm not part of, creating memories I'll never share. It kills me. Yeah, it kills me." "Does Dad miss me like that? Is that why he still tries to find me?" "How often do you see them?" "1 weekend a month, a week at Christmas, 2 weeks in the summer. It's not like you and your dad." I freeze. "How much did Mom tell you?" It comes out sounding mad, but that's not how I mean it. I don't know how I mean it. All Mom did was talk to a friend, and it's not like he's as bad as I thought. Cameron, he says, like his eyes are seeing into my brain, like his voice is giving me a hug. Whatever's between you and your mom and your dad, that's between the three of you. It's none of my business. Right, I can feel my face doing everything not to crumple up. Another thing, I know you already have a dad, and he's not me, and I'll never be him. I'll never try to be either, I promise. I'll only ever be me, Ken. Talk to me, don't talk to me, it's up to you. Just know I'm here. Okay. We both seem to know the conversation is over. It's weird how that happens. We go see Mom at the front. Did you work out the ownership question, Mom asks? We worked out a lot of things, Ken says. Mom turns to me. So it's 9 o'clock. You'll be back here at noon after your swim? Sure. If there's a swimming pool at the cemetery, see you. See you. I swing my backpack over my shoulder and head out to the door with them calling, have fun, after me. I don't look back. I don't want to know if he puts his hand on her shoulder. For now, all I know is I'm not going to call him CB anymore. From now on, it's Ken. Chapter 23. The cemetery. That's all I can think about. I go 2 blocks over, turn right, and walk down the street of old brick homes. They all have verandas with bushes at the side, big windows, and a tree near the sidewalk. A few have a cement bird bath. After the 4th Street, the houses get shabbier. There's dented aluminum siding, crabgrass growing through the cracks in the walkways, and one place with a rusty jungle gym. Then I'm passing a small park. The further I go, the foggier it gets. It's like moving through sheets of cobwebs. Finally, I come to the last crossroad. On the other side, there's a spiked wrought iron fence and a wooden sign by an open gate that says Wolf Hollow Cemetery, EST 1826. I follow the road through the gate into a world of tombstones. How will I ever find Mr. McTavish? The road divides into 2. The right fork leads to a small building with a garage and tool shed. There's a light in the window. I knock on the door. Hello? Comes from inside. The door opens. I'm staring at a short, stocky woman in a bright yellow raincoat and work gloves. What can I do you for? I'm looking for a grave. Then you've come to the right place, she winks. Any grave in particular? Yes, Frank McTavish. He died a long time ago. You're asking me? Seriously, what is it with the people around here? The woman waves me into a bare-bones office lit by a panel of fluorescents. There's a wall heater, a desk with a computer, and the kind of chairs you see at lawn sales. On the walls, bleached-out pictures of gardens and rainbows, and a large survey map of the cemetery grounds. Jean Curie, she shakes my hand. Cameron Weaver. And you're looking for Frank McTavish? He's the one got ripped apart by his dogs, right? I don't need the computer for him. Those dogs, they're a bit of a local legend. She taps the cemetery map. He's planted with his parents in Section D, Plot 24. You take the main road up to the second turnoff. After a while, you'll come to a big maple tree on your right. Walk a bit on an 80-degree angle, and Bob's your uncle. I feel like a lost puppy. I must look like one, too. Alrighty, I'll take you myself, Miss Curie sighs. Like I'm her good deed of the day. Have to dig a hole in Section F anyhow. Gentleman from the nursing home died the day before yesterday, 96. They say he had a good dinner, then bingo. Hard to complain. Rewind. You dig graves? Groundskeeper, grave digger, that's me. Miss Curie brings me to the garage and has me sit beside her on the backhoe loader. We drive through the fog. You should come when it's sunny, Miss Curie says. Beautiful. In the summer, tourists drop by to do rubbings of pioneer stones. When we get to the maple, Miss Curie parks the backhoe and walks me over to Mr. McTavish's grave. The marker is a plain gray slab of limestone. McTavish. Emily Cole McTavish, March 12, 1899 to April 24, 1924. Beloved wife of Henry K. McTavish, January 18, 1893 to February 16, 1952. Parents of Frank H. McTavish, April 24, 1924 to June 1964. Strange. All the dates have a day except for Jackie's father. If they only knew the month he died, not the day, he could have been dead for weeks before they found him. I imagine his body in the field with stuff growing up out of it. I imagine the Sinclairs knocking at his door, wondering where he is. I imagine them figuring he's off somewhere and leaving, and him only a few hundred meters away, half-eaten by his dogs. By the time they found him, how much was left? Are you okay? Mrs. Curie asks. Sure, yeah, not. I just noticed something. Mr. McTavish's mother died the day he was born. Miss Curie peers at the door, at the dates. Say, you're pretty observant. Must have been childbirth. Happened a lot back then. And there's no second wife named, so it looks like his father never remarried. He had no other family? Not that I can tell. This plot is room for 6, and there's just 3 of them. Miss Curie pauses. Don't mean to rush, kiddo, but I have to get digging. You can find your way back? Yes, thanks. I just take the turn off back to the road. That's the ticket. She heads back to the backhoe. See you later, alligator. In a while, crocodile. I haven't said that since I was 5 or 6 with Grandma. Miss Curie drives off into the fog. I kneel in front of the gravestone and reread the inscription for Jackie's father. He was born in 1924 and died in 1964. That means he was 40, Dad's age. This could be Dad's grave. I put my hand on the cold stone and close my eyes. I see the picture Dad gave me at our last visit, the one of him and me at the beach, the one I keep hidden behind the picture of my mom and my grandparents on the bedside table. Does Dad still look like he did then? Does he wonder what I look like? What if he dies and I never see him again? Something's behind me. I turn my head through the mist. I see a large gray dog staring at me from behind a tombstone. What does it want? Don't think crazy. It's just a dog, an ordinary dog. Is it? The dog's eyes are ice blue. I press my back against Mr. McTavish's gravestone. The dog disappears in the mist. I stay frozen against the stone for what seems like forever. All I see are gravestones, angels, and crosses. I get up slowly and head toward the maple tree at this side of the turnoff. Something's following me. Something behind the stones. I follow the turnoff to the main road. Suddenly, there it is again, right ahead of me, blocking my way. The dog. Go away. Leave me alone. The dog growls. There's no one to help me. I think of Mr. McTavish. Then I hear a faraway voice. Don't be afraid. He won't hurt you. I won't let him. The dog runs off. Jackie, I whisper. Are you here? No, at the farm. I haven't left the farm since Mother went away. I told you that. I close my eyes. I expect to picture him in the hayloft or the woods, but all I see is terrible darkness. Is it because he's nowhere except in my mind? No, he's too real. He has to be somewhere. I fill with dread. Jackie, where are you? Why can't I see you? Because, his voice goes strange, like he's smiling. Only whatever he's smiling at isn't funny. What's wrong? Nothing, Jackie sings songs. I'm just in my special place is all. No one can see me here. No one. What's your special place? Where's your special place? Ask Artie. He knows. He's the only one who knows. No, I'm asking you. If you're my friend, tell me. He doesn't say anything. Why not? Is he scared? Playing games? I concentrate. Where is it so dark no one can see? The coal room? Where I found his drawings? Someplace he and Mr. Sinclair played? Not the barn. Light gets in through the cracks. But what about a place in the woods? Jackie, is there a cave near the boulders? Some underground hideout? Is that your secret place? A twig snaps to my side. Who is it? What is it? I don't wait to find out. I run.